Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. I'm Prismalin, and today we're going to continue on with some Hades, because, yeah, Hades 2 is a game I do enjoy, and we've been doing, good things with it, so why not continue? We'll take the History boon on this one here. I got a lot further. We'll take up that so we can actually get some mining done. And let's continue.
Heading out.
Ooh, weapon upgrade straight away. Let's see what we get. Attack is... My hold attack is 50% greater. Attack deals more damage to range of distant foes. Your other attack strikes 2 but not behind you. I'll take the extended ball up. That way you can get like more range. Much better this way. But yeah, so... I've kind of been I don't know, just suffering from a bit of kind of like, what would you call it? Burnout, I guess, more than anything else. From just like playing Hades, not playing Hades 2 itself, but more from the fact of just like always recording, which has sort of had an impact on essentially what I want to play. Because I've been like playing all sorts of, like, because I want to play other games and stuff, and I've got like plans for like just my personal game time. Like a good example of that is with the Elden Ring DLC coming out later next month. You know, I kind of want to get stuff set up so I can kind of like jump straight into that, which requires me to have some playtime and get builds that I kind of think actually would be interesting to play through. So I'm kind of setting that up, which takes time, which means then I don't feel like I want to end up doing recording, so...
Should have seen it, dearie, when we brought old Kronos down. Took 6 of us at least, but we got him. Little wonder he's all sore about it still. We'll just have to dispose of him more thoroughly. Cremation, mayhaps.
Special Inflict Scorch, I think that's absolutely fine here. Or my attacks Inflict Scorch. Or we can rarefy it as well, so... Yeah, why not?
That's awesome.
Seeing as we're going for like attacks and stuff, we might as well. We'll keep trying to get some more... some more of the upgrades and stuff that I do need. Because at the moment, what I want is all the Psyche, so I can actually have like more cards to play, essentially. What's in here? What can we get?
I do have gold to spare.
After duration, restore 50% health. Gain that. And seeds, yeah, let's buy those. I might as well buy the resources every time I see them, because the resources are more important than the actual kill on a boss at the moment, I think. Like, so I realised just how difficult that boss fight was. Which was kind of insane. Like, for me, it's,
For me.
well, we played it on stream, and I now know that the boss is like a second phase, at which point I'm like, oh, great. That sounds brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I'm back.
So that was kind of a surprising turnaround to realise that that was the case. Cool. More because like the boss is really difficult
Got you.
with just like starting stats and stuff like that. Cast Inflict Scorch whenever Scorch foes are slain. And Natural Gas would seem interesting. Yeah, we'll take that. Because that way at least I get like a mini explosion out of that as well also, so it's worthwhile. yeah, so like if they just die with Scorch on them, which if I'm attacking them they should do, they just deal damage around them, which is kind of nice for a bit of AoE, so I can deal with like the small rooms a lot better. Because the problem I always have is the fact that I have no way of dealing with like essentially loads of small minions. Shop or HP? We're pretty much all the way through, but HP for free is worth it, I think. And we can save the money for a shop later if we have to, which, yeah, I kind of expected it wasn't going to be an actual proper shop. A proper shop. But, yeah, I've kind of missed out on like doing stupid stuff and basically being a giant idiot, you know? Which has kind of always been the way. So I've taken like, not really time out, but I kind of just like made sure that what I'm going to do is just record for when I want to record more than anything else as well. So that is the time frame. Not worry about if I haven't set something up for the day or things like that as well.
Ah, it's you. Don't, my friend. Just... You don't need to look at me like that. You don't need to look at me at all. Look at the fineries I've made. Silk in every shape and color, see? It's beautiful, isn't it?
It is, Arachne. But to think I could have wronged you with an inadvertent glance just now. It's just I'm concerned for your safety out here.
Oh, there's no need for that. You see, my form included certain benefits. I get to live a long, long time to enjoy it. Besides, just because you found me here doesn't mean just anybody can.
Restoring channel cast. Like, I don't think any of these are actually really worth it, so we'll just take the one with the most armor, and then we'll go with that.
All in an evening's work.
You know?
Another Molly.
But yeah. We do need to get more of those things as well. But yeah, like that's the main thing that kind of it's something that I kind of had to refigure out as well. And like I said, it's a hard thing to try and balance, just like having fun and also that sort of like outlet that you have as well. Surprisingly enough, eventually like an outlet that you have can sometimes turn it into more of a chore than what you're expecting it to, which does happen. It's not unheard of, you know. And, you know, I can bounce back pretty quickly in most cases. You know, pretty quickly.
Some sort of
The main thing is, like, I try and catch things a lot earlier on before they become an effect on me in, like, the long term. Not saying that I'm ever successful in that all the time, but if I can try and notice a problem, it's going to be a problem, I'd rather get it solved, you know? Because there's nothing worse than essentially not solving the issue at hand. And then when you put all this effort into it, it's just still a problem. You're like, well, that's not really kind of what I wanted. All the Everlambing Ember got ranked up. We'll take the increase on the Scorch damage on every hit. Now, here I should, like, go to the shop anyway, but we'll take the hit. Now, does that... Oh, first time we see Chaos as well. That's great.
Where in the... Who in the... What sort of boon is this in such a place? Well, in the name of Hades, Olympus, are you there?
Olympus cannot hear you, Spawn of Hades, but I can. And I have for you a proposition. Assist with a quandary of mine and benefit your response.
Almighty Chaos. I'm honored to make your acquaintance. What sort of quandary would concern the origin of all existence? And how do I fit in?
Time shall tell. But at present I have inferred that your response, in essence, was affirmative. Thus may our newly formed arrangement prove most interesting. Accept my mark and go. later I shall open the abyss for you again.
Very interesting. One less fewer choices on next 4 boons. And I get to restore 5 mana every second. Afterwards I use 25% less mana. And flexible encounters whenever you use Primate, and afterwards, after I exit location, I restore 10 health. That's actually pretty useful. The fixated blood will give me good healing.
Just have to live with the side effect for now.
I don't mind that side effect. It's not really a side effect for me.
How about...
We'll take this first.
Blessed made it all that way on just a rickety old wooden ferry boat. Must be a litany of fire safety hazards there, although plenty of water near with which to put them out.
Oh, we can rarefy again because we got the upgrade. That is interesting. Really interesting. I didn't think it would work that way.
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
Fired up.
Hmm.
You know already, don't you, my lord? About the 3 fates. That Kronos has your sisters in his thrall. Lord Moros is safe with us, at least.
I am looking forward to seeing all the artwork when it all comes released out. It's going to be really good.
Ready. Hermes urged me to address a certain matter with you here. However, my view is you are unprepared for the surface as of yet.
Meaning you won't lift the wards barring the path to the surface. What if I remove them myself? I've seen how you do it.
Then you'll be more prepared than you are now. Till then, remember your objective lies below, past me.
Oh, cool. So we get the incantation now to permeate wards. That's great.
The all-consuming flame.
But yeah. It's one of those things that I think I always thought was a little bit weird about myself, is the fact that I kind of had that sense to be like, okay, I need to sort this stuff out. How am I going to sort this stuff out? You know? And normally catch it before it becomes a bigger issue to myself or other people, you know? Not saying it's ever a perfect solution in most cases, because sometimes certain problems just cannot be solved in that sort of sense of way. But, you know, I try my best.
Tremble beneath the moon.
Oh yeah, this is quite a big AoE, isn't it? But yeah, I think sometimes that sort of level of self-reflection can be very important. But it's a very difficult thing for people to do, and even myself as well. Like, I am not perfect on it either way. Evidently, you know. From the examples that I'm literally showing at this moment in time, pretty much, at the fact that I couldn't cope with it for a certain point.
3 against 1.
But, you know, at times like those, it's best to essentially just make those decisions as quickly as possible and just reflect on it in a better way.
I have more hexes up my sleeve.
Ah, Freenos, you can block that. How delightful. Oh, took a hit. Oh, interesting. Yes, I can sack life before the armor. That's one thing I was meant to check, wasn't it? Yeah. And that one's gone back first. This is the real one. They gotta fix that bug. I don't know if it is a bug or if it's a way you just can't understand which one you should be hitting, but whichever way it is, it's one that gives you a really good idea of which one you should be hitting. As well as, I think, if you've got Scorch affecting stuff, I think you should be able to see it on boss bars' health totals. It's kind of annoying that I can't, you know. Like, I need to know if my Scorch will kill, essentially.
That is enough. You
I like the
wield
burn
the spear
bells.
capably, and I can tell the bond you share is strong. Now, farewell.
Cool.
Blasted her.
And let's move on. So, yeah.
Kronos.
Oh, there we go.
Just in time. Which rock did you crawl out from under? My forces, they are terribly confused. They have no idea where you live. So I thought I would attempt asking you nicely here.
I live in your nightmares, Titan. I thrive on them. I'll see you dead, and then destroyed. However long it takes.
However long it takes. You speak of inevitability, little one. A subject on which I happen to be the expert. As to whomever sent you after me, I shall find them.
We'll see.
Interesting.
Which one would help?
What do we want to go with next? Because I've already got the Scorch set stuff up. Silken Sash is actually pretty useful. I get some extra bonuses, plus I'm going to gain armor as well every where we go.
Shade needs you, Phrynos. Good.
So, this will be worthwhile. But yeah, I mean, burnout is something that it's really a hard thing to kind of like understand or discuss with a lot of people, and sometimes it's something that not real many people kind of get in the same way you would expect them to or want them to. To understand, it's more like for me, it's more like that loss of motivation. You know, like suddenly the things you take pride in, suddenly you just don't take pride in them anymore.
Water spouts. A moon drop. I draw you down, O moon. Lend me your light.
Getting hit by the water.
Where you are. Your battles through the underworld are consequential to the war that rages here. But leave the surface to the gods and me. Do not become distracted by the sealed crossroads gateway leading up. Which suits you?
The Restore, Hex Beam, or Hex Blast. Hex Blast is pretty good, but I always do like the heal. Because heal can be pretty
Moon water.
useful. Now I just need some like mana regain.
You shall be feared.
That is the next plan. And look at that, straight away we can get some upgrades to it. But yeah. Like for me it is always the lack of motivation that ends up being an issue. Because it's a very hard thing to sit there and like constantly be like
The path of stars.
on the go. Like, most people look at you and be like, oh yeah, it's fine, you know, there's no issue, you just, like, keep going. I'm like, 50 mana is pretty useful, extra, 10 health is not really what I want. Plus 3 hex uses, if you still have uses left. That's pretty good as well. The money would be nice. But I want to get more mana out of this if I can. There, that's what we want. So what I've done now is I set this up so the fact that
Illumination.
if I use it once,
Conceal
I get
the
enough
paths,
mana back.
perhaps.
And let's look at open another path.
This'll be over soon.
But yeah, it's not a an easy thing to kind of come to the realization of or what it is about or whether you need to make the change or not. In my opinion, I think being able to do that is a very difficult thing on both the senses of like someone like me as well as like everyone else as well. No one likes admitting that they're struggling with stuff. It's, you know, not a nice thing to have to sit there and think, oh yeah, I'm struggling, or I'm finding stuff difficult, or even know what the signs are in most cases. You know? It's never as simple as like, oh yeah, I just need to make this change or stuff like that. It's finding what the cause of the problem is and then basically just troubleshooting stuff until you can fix the thing you want to fix. Now let's get more of this. I am no by means an expert in it, but as I said, I'm a good person at giving advice, terrible person at you're hearing it myself. Doesn't mean I don't try that self-reflection. It's one of the things I'll tend to do is just, I will write stuff down, or in most cases, like I do here, is I will literally record myself playing a game and talking about the stuff. Like, I got no troubles with sharing how I'm feeling or what's going on or stuff like that. Trying to explain to other people can be very difficult and a scary thing.
Into the purse.
This, for me, is a little bit easier, and I can understand then my process in my brain and go, yeah, that kind of makes sense, you know? Or I can then look at it and go, I'm being an idiot. Because I used to keep like before I started doing YouTube myself, this is like way, way back. Because, like, you know, I had a lot of stuff that happened in my life that both were due to my own poor decisions, as well as, like, other people just not being very nice people. But, you know, you give people the benefit of the doubt and you pay for it, which is a hard way of going about it. And other bits also, like, you know, I have my own issues. Like, at one point in my life, I wasn't a very nice person either. You know, circumstances can make people change their behavior on a massive scale, regardless of what ends up happening.
Something changed about my chaos boon.
Bright Apollo gathered us and announced that his twin sister, whilst out hunting for our enemies, stumbled upon a long-lost relative with the Witch of the Crossroads. Why, I was overjoyed and furious at once.
Okay. Life from gathering. Wherever you gather plants, seeds, or mushrooms, gain life. Restoring mana for a main active is kind of a nice thing. I'd rather take the Arctic Ring, to be honest. Because at least it means that that deals some damage, and also will inflict freeze and slow things, so we'll go with that. Again, I would like more max health. You know. But yeah. It's one of the things that I've always tried to do is I tried to do what I thought was essentially the path of least resistance, you know? Doesn't mean it necessarily works out like that. There are always things where I was like, you know what, it doesn't bother me, it doesn't affect me in a negative fashion, so, you know, I'll help someone out, I'll, you know, placate the favor as such, or, you know, I don't mind which way things go about stuff. Little did I know that would also be an issue with a lot of things in my life that would cause problems. As well as also probably the slight narcissistic tendencies I may have. Although I make that joke every single time, it is so true. Cycling from the sprint. Let's just gain the tranquil gain. Why not? Like I would always say, like, it doesn't matter what level of stuff, and anything in psychology, it's all relative. It's all a spectrum to one thing to the next, right? And a friend of mine that basically has got his entire like PhD in psychology is kind of like when I speak to about a lot of things, because, you know, 3 therapy. When you know, when I can't handle certain stuff or things like that, because yeah, you know, I trust his opinion and sort of the professionalism he has about all sorts of stuff as well. you know, if he's telling me I'm being an idiot, I'm probably more likely to believe it from him because he's a friend, but also because of the fact that he kind of knows how I function. So it's not like a, how do I say, although I probably, you know, take advantage of it a lot. It's not like a friend with no notion of how stuff works telling you that you're being an idiot, and it's not just a therapist that doesn't know you on a personal level tell you you're being an idiot. It's a friend with the know-how telling you you're being an idiot, at which point you're kind of like, okay, I guess I am being an idiot. Yeah, we'll just take the level up here, actually. Specials, more Scorch. Tranquil Gain, getting more mana is kind of meh. But the extra Scorch on that is... yeah, adds up. Nice to stack it and keep it stacked.
Oh. Just can't get enough of us, can you, lady? Oh, it's okay. Happens to everybody, especially sailors. We're just that good. Do you sail?
Your self-confidence is enviable, but I'm only here because I have to get past this ridiculous stage. So why don't we skip the show?
Oh, I got a better idea. Why don't we start the show? All we needed was a little audience, and we've got you right where we want you.
Oh, I tell you now, the voice actress for her did such a good job. Like, both in just, like, the actual voice acting and the songs and stuff as well. It's brilliant. You know? It's one thing that I think sometimes is really underappreciated, stuff like that. And like the songwriter for these songs as well really nailed the theming and everything else. Like, it works so well and it's ridiculous how it works. You know, it's a one thing that I think that sometimes you think no one actually really appreciates. And just like how much time and effort goes into those little details. Like, I am no by means a games designer or anything like that as well, but like, as part of my job I do kind of have to try and think about how users interact with things that I do in the designing, so it's such a hard thing to realize how people will interact with what you've created. And sort of the impact that's going to have on just the user functionality of things. Like, my experience is very limited, even in most cases, so it's not like I'm like any near like, oh yeah, like I know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, nah, I'm like bare basic bones, you know? So like the other levels that end up going into stuff like that can be like huge differences. It's like complete night and day. You know? But it's some of those things you end up having to think about a lot. Luckily, as I always say, most time, I don't get paid enough to worry about it. And I think that's actually that was a thing that I was discussing with some friends and stuff about, like, lost the armor now. That's annoying. But I mean, we're going to be changing our thing anyway, so extra HP is a lot better. Nice. Double kill with the trap. So yeah, it is something where I end up, like, in this day and age, especially now, it's a sad realization to think that it's more efficient. So, I mean, my working career, I've always tried to be like the best employee I possibly can do. I've had my scuffles and stuff like that, maybe because of like particular colleagues or things like that, because someone wants to try and, you know, knock you down. You have a personal relationship that's kind of like not functioning in the way that you expect it to, or they're just using that to try and manipulate and take other things, but that's irrelevant. But as far as like things go, you know, like whenever promotions were available or things like that, not just myself, but other people that were also probably, you know, good options for the running of those promotions and are getting like passed over, which is a horrible feeling, trust me. I mean, a real horrible feeling about it when it does happen. Like, there's just no way you can get around it or anything like that as well. Could go with Timid Tip 1. Aphrodite could be interesting. Asbestos. Just hit the money. Let's hit that +1 upgrade. Because if we do get like 1 upgrade, it's worthwhile. Plus upgrading it to go through runs as well would be useful.
It's drier here at least.
Cool, let's go. And a weapon upgrade. Hopefully we can get like double hits or something like that. That'd be nice.
Follow the golden petal path.
So yeah, I realised just on literally probably the past 4 years, I probably changed from a job that in the end I wasn't happy in because the way I was being treated, which is a sad thing to realise, that your work and employers don't, even if they say like, oh yeah, we're a family and stuff like that, don't really actually treat you like a family. You know, at the end of the day, they're still a business, and they're going to do what's best for the business, not what's best for you. I said it's a realization that I ended up coming up to, and it was like I was going to make a change, and basically I moved over to a completely different career path compared to what I was doing, but not really, in a sense. You know, I had skills that are applicable and succeeded doing very well at it. The only problem with that is the hours and everything else were not sociable, and so the money was really good. And I worked hard for it, like, not denying that. Not denying that at all. I worked extremely hard for that. Destroys armor, nice. That's actually really useful. I will take that. It's just, it wasn't really applicable for kind of things that you end up wanting it to be. Let's go down here. Like, I can see myself enjoying the job and I could probably do really well at it, but like trying to look at my future in that position, I didn't see one. At the same time, I felt the strain, essentially similar to what I was feeling the other day about sort of recording and stuff like that, where the enjoyment of what I was doing in my work wasn't there. And it's one thing that I kind of stood by, is if I wasn't enjoying my work, I would change my work, because it's the only thing I have control over. Hilariously enough, though, by doing that also meant that every single time I did it, I got a pay bump. Like a pretty decent one as well. Let's go with Poseidon.
Just try and take my blood.
Did they fix this boss fight? I want to know. But yeah, it was a thing that ended up coming out through a lot of frustrations, but like the pay bumps I ended up getting from changing those positions was ridiculous. Like, in the past 4 years, I have essentially doubled my pay. Now, is there anyone that really can sit there and say I had 100% increase in my wage in the past 4 years? No. And all I did was change from one job to a different industry where I had applicable skills, and then I really couldn't heal from that. And then I just changed to another job for the exact same thing.
How many mortals have you tormented?
Which is,
How on green earth do you reside now, niece? It here resembles some of Demeter's rolling fields of grain. Who knew old Hades had a pasture growing in the underworld, if but a rather dismal-looking one, as I can tell?
Fluid gain could be a lot better, actually, because I'm going to be doing a lot more hits rather than standing still. I will change it out, plus the upgrade on it is really actually useful, so we'll do that. And let's go speak to Echo.
I have to go now.
But yeah, it's sad to think that any employer is always just out for themselves, and you've got to think yourself in the same way.
Hey, it's Malinois. It's Malinois.
It's Echo. 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 You're an Oread, aren't you? Though you're not speaking in the customary way of mountain nymphs. Some sort of curse.
Some sort of curse. Sort of curse. Curse.
That's mean. Oh, boom from Poseidon. Yeah, why not?
Thank you, Echo.
Or why not? Minor fines are worth more. Yeah, 10% extra damage bonus could help me kind of like get through a boss, like a bit of a fight quicker. Path of Stars, because I do have the thing for it, so I might as well use that. But yeah, it is sad to say, and like, you know, I didn't really stick.
Missed all the fun. But at least you won't have to get your hands dirty this time.
Nemesis, what are you doing here? Who's standing watch at the crossroads?
They'll manage. I'm on break. Tell Hecate you saw me, you'll regret it. And you're welcome here and safe, seeing as I cleared the path for you.
You haven't cleared the path at all.
I don't need your aid in this, other than the responsibilities you've already been assigned.
Really? Look like you could use all the aid you can get. Here's something for your trouble. Then I suggest you move along.
Restore? I can't. Interesting.
They know I'm here.
Interesting. I get a Death Defiance and I can't even use it. But yeah, it is kind of that sort of effect where I'm kind of like, you know, I'm a little bit annoyed by that sort of stuff, as well as I understand at the same time. Not from like other perspectives, but like I just have to realize that there is that sort of subtle differences between everything else.
Move along.
In the name of Hades.
I would like to, but I can't restore that. Oh, each fire I have. And at the moment I'm 3, so that's an extra 6. Cool. Let's go. And get the upgrade here.
Sorrow Spiller.
But yeah. And the thing is, like, I was kind of like saying, like, I haven't stayed in the same industry at all while changing these jobs. Like, you've got to realize that. Like, I moved from service work, essentially, to sales, to now, basically, data analytics, but a bit more on, like, particular developments and stuff like that as well, which I kind of do with some more personal things myself. But and like in my free time, like I've got a portfolio of work that I've done in regards to programming, and I say programming, more like debugging. I do make that that same thing every single time.
Miasma.
I don't really call myself a programmer in any way, shape, or form. I don't think I'm that good. But I'm really good at solving problems. You know, it's probably about the only thing I'm actually pretty decent at is people managing and solving problems. But I don't use those skills anymore, essentially. Not in the job roles I end up doing it. Not saying that they aren't applicable for some of the freelance work I do. I am normally the foremost guy people will send to talk to other people within the group of people I work with, which, for those freelance work, which, yeah, I don't mind it. Hex makes me impervious. There we go. Restoring more health could be good, actually, as well. So I don't need the gold. But just +3 uses is always good as well.
Think I can finally go.
But where? Where can I leave? Where's the exit?
See you soon.
Did she just...
I can't pick up the Death
Which
Defiance,
way?
so I guess we're going to shop. Although, saying that, what's in here? Give me the random item. Macast deals more damage, restore health. I got way too much gold, so I might as well spend it on all those stuff in there.
Good to see you here, my lord.
I'm going to buy everything here. Well, my specials will be one thing I want to be using anyway.
In the name of Hades.
Sprint deals damage. It does use mana, and it is a way to kind of like just spend mana recklessly.
You're very vigilant, I'll grant you that.
But yeah.
What's the use? No.
It is a fun and entertaining thing to realise. But then that's all it is. It's like, everyone thinks to themselves, oh yeah, my job never really allowed me to have these set of skills. And you gotta think, well no, your job doesn't let you use the skills that you have, not necessarily the fact that the job doesn't represent your skill set. You know? So it's a very hard thing to try and get around. And as I said, always try and take every last skill that you have and really kind of nitpick over it. Like, what do I do? What are my job roles? And then my favourite one, what are my responsibilities that I don't even do? Keep every contract for that reason. Like some of my old contracts, which is kind of hilarious in my opinion. We can heal here. Like, I generally have jobs that I have never touched while working, but they were a part of my responsibilities. It's just they got passed over to someone else the moment I started, even though they were meant to be my job roles or later down the line. Thing is what management always tend to fail to do is they forget to update, say, like your personal job responsibilities. So you gotta remember that. You know, and especially within the UK, employers aren't allowed to give a bad reference. They can deny giving a reference, but they can't give you a bad one. And to be honest, if you knew they were going to deny giving you a reference, you probably wouldn't use them as a reference. And if we're doing that, you know, it's that sort of, yeah, that's just you being stupid there. I'll do damage. That's why we're tanky. So yeah. I think it's a realization that you've got to end up realizing is, like, once you think that your work, you can still have fun, you can still think work as a family and everything out like that as well. I completely agree with those statements, and that is absolutely fair. You know?
Not true. Tormenting him, are you?
But at the end of the day, like, the person who matters the most is yourself, and you've got bills to pay, you've got people to take care of, you know. The last thing you want to be worrying about is my boss not going to give me my paycheck that I need to support my family? And in this climate, in this economy, inflation always keeps going up and up and up and up and up, but wages don't ever increase at the same rate. Like, at some point down the line, we will get a market crash, and people wonder why can no one afford things? Why is companies losing money? And it's because that they always want to seek for... Oh, crap. They always want to seek for constant gain, and this is why companies now are like firing people left, right, and center, because they can't keep that constant growth going like they promised. You know? So shareholders get really annoyed. They still can spend their money as much as they want to, but their money doesn't go as far as it used to either. Not that they'll ever want to admit that in any way, shape, or form. You know, because if they admit they're poor anyway, sense of fashion, suddenly they're not rich anymore. You know? It was something I did as part of helping out a friend. Was I spent a lot of time talking to people with more money than sense. Like, genuinely more money than sense. And this is again why, like, I always got put in charge of, like, people stuff with friend groups and stuff like that, and organising things. Like, although I hate talking on the phone, I was the only idiot enough to actually speak to people on the phone. That really hit me. And trust me, people skills are always useful. It doesn't matter if you think that, you know, you're not very good with people, stuff like that. You can learn to be pretty good. And, you know, get what you want out of things and stuff like that. But the main thing is not to do it with the intent to harm other people. The intent is to make sure that you get what you are worth and what you deserve. And the main thing is, you know, never omit or lie if you can get away with it. Because stuff like that always comes out at the end of the day. Like, I've had people, like, apply for jobs and stuff like that, and they lie on their application, and then they wonder why they don't get the job, because, well, when they get the job, they don't last very long, because they don't have the skill set that was advertised. But most things you ever do, it's all about how you sell yourself, how you present yourself, and the impressions you give off. If you're good at doing stuff like that, then pretty much you'll succeed anywhere. Doesn't matter what you do, eventually you'll find the right place that fits you and your personality down to a T.
Better.
Can't do that anymore, though. I hate the fact that he keeps using the fireball attack, which he's going to do now again. But yeah.
Cyrus, you're free.
He is down.
What constitutes mere playtime for the terrifying Hound of Hell is ended for the while.
That's playtime? What?
You're free again, for now.
Oh, we can't get down to that. I thought I couldn't get down to it. There we go. Got some more resources.
Almost there. Should switch keepsakes.
That I should. That I should indeed. We go for this one.
The tooth.
And we'll heal up. That we get 5. Let's get the full restore.
One last drop.
Let's move on.
Almost there.
But yeah. Like, there's all sorts of small things where I think just like, you kind of need to know on how to kind of get the reaction that you want out of stuff most of the time. Like in most cases, like, it's not actually a benefit for you to kind of like speak your mind. You should keep your mouth shut and just like accept a decision. Which, trust me, I've been in those positions as well. They're not great. Suddenly realise that no matter what you say, you cannot win an argument. But yeah, I've been in those positions all the time. Mainly because it's always like someone else's incompetence. You know. And yeah, I've also been on the receiving end of like nepotism and everything else as well. Which is not that great. I had the sort of realization that all your efforts are completely worthless because basically daddy wants the kid to have a successful future and the kid is useless at everything else to the point where he leaves every other business.
No traitor to the house shall go unpunished.
And then we gotta go down to this route. That, like 12 healing every time I leave a room. But yeah, I've had to deal with that a few times, which was never great in my opinion. My problem with stuff like that is, like, I got no problem with someone's got the skill set to do something. It's just when they are, like, useless or, like, just take advantage of their position. Because, you know, their dad runs the business, stuff like that. It's really frustrating. Like, I have no problem if they were qualified to do what they were meant to do or things like that, but in most cases they never are. You know. Like, what they are qualified for is just, like, essentially taking the handouts that's given to them and then just leaving. Not saying that some aren't capable of doing stuff, it's just... Like, I come from a family where I was always forced to kind of work for everything I had, and it's probably one of the reasons why my mum raised me as such as well.
Kronos, do your thing. Rest easy now.
You know, if I wanted luxuries, I had to put the extra money towards it. I had to earn that money. It was never something just given to me, because that wouldn't be fair.
Cerberus.
It's you.
Notoriously vicious Cerberus sits vigilantly by his master's side.
I can gift. Let's gift.
Father, while I know this wasn't necessarily permitted, I thought if maybe it would be of any comfort at all, that I might offer you this nectar.
Exactly like your brother last. I fear I'm not in any mood or state for such a thing. Concern yourself not with my comfort, but with the target of your wrath.
When Kronos took our family and the house, and you bade the Witch of the Crossroads take me, I remember it somehow, or dreamt of it. Did he demand you tell him of the fates?
How could you possibly? He did. Perhaps the fates themselves permitted you that bit of insight. He did his worst to discover where they hide. Though would have failed, even if I did possess the knowledge that he sought.
Wait, you never told Kronos how to find the fates? Then how did he? Because he's captured them. Not long ago, perhaps, but nonetheless, I'm certain of it.
If this is true, well then my father's plan for conquest is much closer to fruition than I thought. I do not know how he could find the Fates, but if they can do nothing against him now, daughter, what chance do you have?
We've every chance in the world.
A burst of damage is actually something I'm going to take here. The cast is kind of irrelevant, like 200 damage is pointless, but that is 20% extra damage, like bang, straight out the way, that I don't need to deal with. We'll see how it goes first. The dash strike being useful just to eliminate the extra armor those things have. Just trust me, I swear, like, armor is the bigger annoyances than anything else. And then you then have enemies that have high life totals as well. Like, the boss's life totals are insane. I will admit that. Preserved hope.
Just 2 more chambers.
Oh, nice. Got a resource I didn't think I'd ever see. Never got that one in the last one, so it's kind of nice to see I get it now. But yeah. Oh, like, I get it. It was the thing I picked up. The healing one. Man, could you imagine if they didn't fix the dashing?
You dare.
You still had to deal with, like, the fact you couldn't go over gaps because of certain things. But yeah. Like, my skill set aren't amazing, I know that for a fact, but, you know, I try really hard and I put the effort in to learn new knowledge and pick stuff up, so. Which is why I say to a lot of people is, like, try and diversify your skill set. There is nothing worse than relying on one source of income or one source of funding or one skill set, and then finding out at some point that that entire line of thinking then is just like not going to work anymore. Because one day it will. You know, one day you'll come against the point of where the skills that you had are no longer applicable, they no longer function in the way that you want them to. Or even worse, like some cases, like the entire position becomes irrelevant. But yeah, I do find it annoying though that industry is just, instead of like actually like making money and doing good products nowadays, their biggest way of saving money and like gaining profits is to remove staff from their employment. Like, I get it, staff is the biggest cost to any company as it stands at the moment. Like, you know, I'm not, I do not, you know, I'm not indifferent to that fact or stuff like that as well. It's a well-known knowledge that most costs you accrue as an industry are due to staffing costs. I will buy that. No, will I? No, it's not worth it. Like, short term it is great, but Let's buy this first. Nah, sprint is pointless. Just upgrade that, so at least I have more. Do I need anything else from here? Like, nothing else is going to change what I want to do, so... Guess we will. Guess we will. Let's face Kronos again. See how far we get this time.
We have a visitor. You saw your father out there, I presume? He required a special arrangement. For eons, he incarcerated countless souls within this place, not to mention me. Seemed only fitting he should have to waste away accordingly.
You couch it in morality when vengeance is reason enough. Though since you've reasoned it all out, by what right did you take the other members of my family? And Nix and all the rest?
Why? Because they opposed me. Except you have this rather vexing knack for resisting some of my time-honored techniques. A recessive family trait, perhaps. Although your brother, he was not so fortunate. You too shall break, however, soon enough.
I swear I know the voice of this voice actor from somewhere. You know.
Legions of the Golden Age, come forth.
Like, I swear I know his voice. I'd have to look up the voice actor for Kronos, because... To be honest, it's one of the things that I will say. I don't think at any point... Oh, really? Death Defiance is now gone already. I don't think Supergiant have ever actually released a game that I was wasn't, you know, that has ever been a disappointment in any way, shape, or form. Like they've always been like really good games, regardless of what you say about them. Put them into the wall. We'll heal up. I hate that spell. It's such a hard thing to get away from. That one attack. Heal up again. Really, that hit me from there? Like, that hitbox is ridiculous. Manners indeed. I've realised that that's how you dodge those, so just run away. That was harsh. Hopefully I don't have to use the last Death Defiance, but you know, I probably will. But we'll keep stacking up the Scorch, get a lot more on as we can as we run around.
I have strength in numbers, lest you forget.
Ah, really? That's annoying. I'll take care of those. Really? Because I was so close to the wall. But we're getting there. We are getting there. Oh, really? That hit me? That's a shame.
What did you expect?
I'm getting better at that fight. I really am. The only problem I have at the moment is I don't have the DPS output, which will come later in the game as I get better upgrades and stuff.
My grasp.
So that's the thing we got to focus on there.
Hey, Mal. I was just floating. Floating around, I guess. And existing. Just kind of existing a lot lately. You?
Failing, making progress, I don't know. Speaking of, shouldn't you be practicing your haunting, Dora?
Yeah, come on.
Oh, yeah, no, I thought maybe I'd take a break from that. Why do now what you could do later, right?
For the sense of accomplishment?
Ah, you are my spirit animal, Dora.
Looks like I did it.
You are indeed. Actually, saying that, have we gifted everyone? So we've done one there, that's fine. Can I do Cerberus? Arachne we've done. Narcissus we've got to find and do him. Echo, you've got to do that as well. I forgot a die. I saw Echo and I still didn't do a die. So that's one to watch out for. Zeus. Poseidon, which you've missed out on. That's my own fault. Everyone else we've done. That's great. So, Hecate first. Done Celine. Not myself. Those three. Dora. We haven't done Dora. That's a shame. How have we not done Dora? Here you go, Dora. Have a gift.
Wanted you to have this, Dora. To the best hunter in all the Crossroads.
See, I knew you were gonna pull this gift custom thing on me sooner or later, so I have come prepared. Catch.
For me?
A ghost onion. Interesting. A ghost onion indeed.
You're here, Lord Charon. need
What
to
can
make
we
my own way
concoct?
to the surface.
So I need to make a shadow. Interesting. Which I can't make yet. See, this is what I mean, like, you get, like, stuck on stuff that you can't do or create at this moment in time. Necromantic influence. To sprint into lonely shades. And a rite of solidarity. See, there are stuff that I just think, well, how do I get that stuff? Reveal golden urns, various locations, which can lead up to. Yeah, that's actually pretty useful. We'll bid that one first.
Now, hear me, O shades, on my authority. Give my demand all due priority.
The person that had to write all those rhymes out, I bet they had a great time. And yeah, Lightspring and Tartarus will be useful.
Katoski Onoski. So mote it be.
Can I do anything else?
What now?
Not currently. Fair enough.
Your mother Nyx, my lord. I saw her lately in a nightmare or a dream. She was very beautiful, and she was unharmed, I think. We're going to find her. I swear it.
So what can we buy here? Oh, we can gain moon dust now. That is great. Nectar, we'll buy that. I guess I'll buy the bath salts also. I'll keep the nightshakes, I need that. The ashes, though, is probably something I should keep going also. But moon dust me.
Here are the bones.
I'll get the rest of it later. That's fine.
Ash of the dead.
And the ashes will always come from here anyway, because I think that's the greatest way to get them. I think everything else I can just purchase.
What now?
Let's gift these out.
Nemesis, maybe we could start again. Here, I got you something.
Don't need your charity, princess, or temptations while I'm on duty or off. You're doing this because you want something from me anyway, so here, knock yourself out.
How did you know?
Thank you, Nem. Had one of my dreams, Nem. Your mother was there, and my father. He showed concern for her. She was under the Titan's spell.
Mother Nyx made a mistake in trusting Hades with so much of the underworld. This realm was never his by right, not till the fates decided otherwise. Mother worked hard. They were probably just trying to send her help.
You're saying the fates granted my father authority over the realm of the dead just to give Nyx a hand with all her responsibilities?
That's right.
Ouch.
Hey, Odysseus. Got you something here I wanted you to have. For always keeping an eye out.
Goddess, your presence alone is all I could ask. Though if you're in a giving mood, then perhaps you'll accept a small gift from me in turn?
True that.
Your trusty knucklebones. Thank you.
So, there's a bit of a new wrinkle in our plans. We've been able to verify some of the details that Master Hermes suggested to you about what's brewing on the surface.
Please tell me what you may. And if you think it wise for me to deviate from my objective to address whatever's going on up there.
The forces of Kronos gather to sail on Olympus through a channel cut across the land. You're poised to disrupt the enemy ranks from within. Aid Olympus, and your chances against Kronos may improve.
The warded pathway leading up should drop me right into the heart of our foe's forward garrison. It seems so reckless.
Call it a calculated risk.
Indeed, it may be. Mystery seeds. I like planting mystery seeds. We need the night ones as well, so we'll keep doing those. And that's why not Grift
May
Hypnos.
you have pleasant dreams for as long as you slumber. And if and when you finally wake, know that this nectar shall be waiting for you. Welcome to the... Wait.
Welcome to the House of Hades.
How fare my favorite hound and polecat friends? I
I do miss hearing his voice in this game. You know.
Which cards reflect my path?
Anyway, we'll probably just leave some of the upgrades for the next run anyway, and we'll go through it all when we start off. But yeah, again, if you do enjoy these videos, do leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.